Hey, what's going on, guys? Goose here, coming back at your video. Before I get started, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all that mumbo jumbo, and let's go over the top 25 that was week number 2. We're already past week number 2 in college football. All right, so the Clemson Tigers ranked number 25th. They beat Charleston Southern Buccaneers 66-17. It's Katie Klubnik threw for 315, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. Leading rusher was Will Shipley, 73 yards on the ground. Maffa had 2 touchdowns on the ground for Clemson, and the leading receiver was Bo Collins, 7 catches, 137, and a touchdown. So Clemson improves their record. They get their first victory as they go to 1-1. All right, next on the docket, we got the Texas A&M Aggies ranked number 23 as they fall to Miami Hurricanes 48-33. As Wegman threw for 336, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Tyler Van Dyke threw for 5 touchdowns for the Hurricanes. And lead receiver for A&M was Evan Stewart, 11 receptions, 142. Xavier with Resprio had 6 catches for 126 for the Hurricanes. As Miami improves to 2-0 on this season, and the Aggies fall to 1-1. So, I think this is a big year for Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo Fisher can't afford to have a losing season. All right, next on the docket, the 22-ranked Colorado Buffaloes as they defeated Nebraska 36-14. This was a really defensive game early on. And then some turnovers by Jeff Sims really opened the door for Colorado as they scored 13 points late in the second quarter, and they rolled to a 36-14 win as Shedeur Sanders threw for 393, 2 touchdowns, no picks, Nebraska's they need to give Matt Rule several years to fix the mess that Scott Frost left and the prior coaches left with Nebraska. But the Buffaloes improved to 2-0, and now they're at home next week against Colorado State. So, but the Buffaloes keep winning. Xavier Weaver had 10 catches for 170 and a touchdown. And Colorado 2-0. They only won 1 game last year. They've already won 2. So, all right. Next on the docket, you got the Duke Blue Devils as they beat Lafayette 42-7. As Duke improves to 2-0, as Riley Leonard threw for 136, 1 touchdown, no picks. Back up with Henry with Bellin, threw for 118, 1 touchdown, no picks. As Jordan Waters was the leading rusher for Duke, 11 carries, 12. Jaquez Moore also had 2 yards on the ground. Leading receiver was Jordan Moore, 4 catches, 84 with a touchdown. So the Blue Devils improved their record to 2-0. And Mike Elko might get some interest in the offseason, depending upon who gets fired and whatnot. All right, next on the list we have Ole Miss. 20th ranked Ole Miss Rebels went on the road to face the 24th ranked Tulane Green Wave. Ole Miss wins 37-20 as Jackson Dart threw for 267, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. And Horton started for Tulane because Pratt was hurt. That really, once Pratt was out this game, that really just kind of ended Tulane's any chances they had to win this football game. Junkins had 48 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown, as Ole Miss gets a win 37-20. As they improve to 2-0, Tulane falls to 1-1, and Tulane will probably fall out of the top 25 rankings after that loss. Let's see. So we got Wisconsin. Wisconsin went on the road. The 19th ranked Wisconsin Badgers went on the road to face the Washington State Cougars, and the Cougars are victorious 31-22 as Cameron Ward for the Cougars threw for 212, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and he also was leading rusher, had 43 yards on the ground. Mordecai for Wisconsin threw for 278, 1 touchdown, no picks. But the Badgers fall. So they fall to 1-1 on the season. and Washington State improves to 2-0. And the Pac-12 has played good so far to start this season. The last year, the Pac-12, and Pac-12 teams are playing well. All right, next on the list. There we go. All right, we got Oklahoma. Oklahoma played SMU as Oklahoma wins 28-11. So Dylan Gabriel threw for 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, passed for 176 for the Sooners. And Tyree Walker, 21 carries, 117 on the ground for the Sooners. And also Andrell Anthony, 7 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown for the Sooners, as that was their leading receiver. As they get the win, 28-11, probably a little closer than some Sooner fans thought this game was going to be, but they did get the victory as they improved to 2-0. SMU falls to 1-1. All right, let's see. Now we're on the North Carolina game. North Carolina played Appalachian State. This game went into double overtime as the Tar Heels win 40-34. As App State almost put off the upset. Drake May threw for 208, didn't have a touchdown pass. All 5 touchdowns by Carolina were on the ground. As Hampton was the leading rusher, had 234 yards on 3 touchdowns. Drake May also had 57 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. J.J. Jones was the leading rusher for North Carolina. Was a receiver for North Carolina. 5 receptions, 91 yards. As Aguilar for App State threw for 275, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Noel was leading rusher for App State, 127 on the ground, 2 touchdowns. And Deshaun Davis had 7 catches for 117 for the Mountaineers and a touchdown. But they fought valiantly, but they fall in double overtime, 40 North Carolina. Look at that. Moving right along, as we got Oregon State. Oregon State's up next as they were ranked 16. They beat UC Davis Aggies 55-7. As Uongale threw for 107, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Martinez was leading rusher for Oregon State, ran for 104. They ran for 269 as a team. As Oregon State's leading receiver was Silas Bolden, 4 catches, 65 yards, 1 touchdown. Riley Sharp also had a touchdown reception for Oregon State, as they did what they had to do against the really outmanned UC Davis in the Division 1AA Aggies, as Oregon State wins 55-7. So they proved the 2-0 on the season. So in the Pac-12, man, they're coming out fighting this year. All right, next on the list we got Kansas State. Kansas State beat Troy 42-13 at the 15th ranked Wildcats. Will Howard 3 touchdowns and 1 pick, threw for 250. Leading rusher was Treshawn Ward, 58 yards on the ground. Gideons also ran for 52, and the leading receiver for Kansas State was Phillip Brooks, 7 receptions, 94 yards and a touchdown. Jadon Jackson also had 77 yards receiving and a touchdown. So the Wildcats improved to 2-0 on the season as they beat the Troy Trojans. All right, let's see. Next on the list, we're going to have LSU. My team, LSU and Grambling, as LSU gets their first victory of the season as they beat Grambling 72-10. The first quarter was close. LSU had a lot of problems defensively in the first quarter. Too many problems, but LSU did what they had to do. They win 72-10 as Nussmeier, Daniels, and Ricky Collins all played in this game. Jaden Daniels threw for 5 touchdowns, passed for 269. Nussmeier was 4 out of 6 for 48. Logan Diggs and Caleb Jackson, those 2 really balled out running the ball. They're our best running backs. They need to get the bulk of the carries going forward. Diggs and Jackson. I know it's against Grambling, but they are our best running backs. They need to get the ball more going forward. And Link Neighbors had 87 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. Brian Thomas had two touchdowns. Kyron Lacey had a touchdown. Also, Hilton had a touchdown for LSU. as they win 72-10 over the Grambling State Tigers. All right, let's see. So next on the list, we got to go Oregon and Texas Tech. And this was a good game, as Oregon went on the road to face the Red Raiders, and they came out with a winner, 38-30. As Bo Nix threw for 2 touchdowns, passed for 359. Nix was also the leading rusher with 46 yards. So Oregon, now they ran for 113, but they just didn't have that one bell cow like a running back that got the bulk of the carries and the big yards. Troy Franklin had 6 receptions, 103, and a touchdown. So the Ducks outlast Texas Tech 38-30, as they scored 20 points in the fourth quarter to win it. Texas Tech almost pulled out the upset over the Ducks, but the 20-point fourth quarter pushed them to victory. All right, next on the list, we got Utah. Got Utah and Baylor. Another close game, as Utah wins 20-13 as they scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. Nate Johnson threw for 82. Bryson Barnes threw for 71. As the Utes, they need their quarterback. They need their starter. His name is escaping. Jeez. My God. I just lost the starter of oh man. I'm just lost it. My God. I got a brain freeze. He'll come to me in a minute. That's Grenadian Jackson had 19 carries for 129 for Utah, and also Matthews 4 catches, 48 for Utah, as they do just enough as they win 20-13 over Baylor. So Utah Utes proved 2-0. And man, I'm at a brain freeze. Man. Jeez. All right, now Notre Dame goes on the road to face NC State as they went 45-24. So Notre Dame improves to 3-0. As Sam Hartman threw 4 touchdowns, no picks, and 286 yards through the air. As they scored 21 points in the fourth quarter. They scored 21 points in the fourth quarter as they beat NC State. This game was marred by a rain delay to start the game, but Notre Dame, I tell you, Notre Dame, they have a very good chance getting to the playoffs this season. Very good chance. I think they got one of the best quarterbacks in the country. All right, let's see. We got next on the list. We got Tennessee at home against Austin Peay as they went 30-13. As Tennessee started off slow, but they get the win over the Austin Peay Governors, 30-13. And Joe Milton threw for 228, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And Jalen Wright, 13 carries for 118. Also, Jabari Small had 13 carries for 95. And then reading receiver was Keaton, 5 receptions for 52 and a touchdown. So Tennessee improved to 2-0, and they got a game against the Gators coming week. The game against the Gators is coming week. All right, so Tennessee gets the victory. Then we got Washington at home against Tulsa as they went 43. Cam Rising it just came to me. I told you to come to Cam Rising was Utah's quarterback. Jeez, took me that long. I don't know why I had a brain freeze. I told you it'd come to me. Yeah, Utah needs Cam Rising to come back. All right, so Washington beats Tulsa 43-10. The Huskies improved to 2-0 as Michael Penix 3 touchdowns, a pick. He threw for 400 yards. Their leading rusher they only run about 109 yards as a team. Leading rusher only ran for 30. They had 2 guys over 100 yards receiving. McMillan and Aduns both had over 100 yards receiving for the Huskies as they improved to 2-0 on the season. Let's see, we got next on the list. We got Penn State. We got Penn State and Delaware. So Penn State improves to 2-0 as they beat the Delaware Fighting Blue Men 63-7. Drew Alar 1 touchdown, no picks. He threw for 204. Katron Allen ran for 103. They ran for 315 yards as a team over Delaware, which is not surprising. But Penn State improves to 2-0 on the season. So can't wait to